My apologies, Igor. I understand you did not want the previous response in a document-like format. My mistake. Here is the script for your YouTube channel, presented as plain text, ready for narration. Dolphins Nation, are you ready for the kind of news that makes your stomach drop, then immediately sends your mind racing with what ifs? After just one brutal game, are the Miami Dolphins already so desperate, so utterly broken, that they're considering trading away their most electrifying weapon, Tyreek Hill, for a new identity, a new hope, in the form of DK Metcalf? It sounds like a plot twist ripped straight from a Hollywood script, but the whispers are growing louder, and the implications could shake the very foundation of our franchise. Just 1 week ago, we stood on the precipice of a new season, brimming with the usual blend of hope and trepidation. Then came week 1, a gut-wrenching, soul-crushing defeat at the hands of the Indianapolis Colts. It wasn't just a loss, it was an exposure. Every crack, every fundamental flaw, every lingering question about this team's readiness and commitment was laid bare for the entire league to see. The celebratory optimism of the off-season evaporated into a thick fog of doubt, and suddenly the narrative shifted from Super Bowl contenders to what in the world is happening. While the old adage tells us one game doesn't define a season, this particular game felt like a chilling premonition, a stark warning that if significant, immediate changes aren't made, we could be in for a long, frustrating year. The alarm bells aren't just ringing, they're deafening. At the heart of this post-Week 1 meltdown, amidst the swirling chaos and desperate strategizing, is the increasingly complex situation surrounding Tyreek Hill. Since his arrival in Miami, the cheetah has been nothing short of a phenomenon, a game-changing talent who redefined what our offense could be. His speed, his agility, his sheer ability to turn a broken play into a highlight reel touchdown has been a consistent source of joy and excitement for us all. But lately, the narrative has shifted. Reports are surfacing, painting a picture of a Tyreek Hill growing increasingly frustrated with the team's trajectory, with the perceived lack of progress, and perhaps with his own role within an offense that seems to be sputtering. His recent struggles on the field, though perhaps exaggerated by the Week 1 performance, have only fueled the fire of these trade rumors. It's a painful thought, but the team may now be exploring options that could benefit both parties, signaling a potential end to an era that, while electrifying, might not have delivered the ultimate prize we all yearned for. So, if Tyreek Hill, our beloved speedster, is potentially on his way out, who could possibly fill those impossibly large shoes? Enter DK Metcalf. The name itself sends a jolt of excitement through the fan base. Industry insiders, those with their ears closest to the ground, are suggesting that the Dolphins are considering a blockbuster trade to bring in a player not just capable of replacing Hill, but of fundamentally shaking up the roster in a meaningful, transformative way. And Metcalf, the explosive wide receiver currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers, is the name that keeps resonating through the rumor mill. He represents a rare, almost mythical combination of size, speed, and hands. A physical marvel who could immediately provide the offensive spark this team is so desperately craving. The potential connection between Metcalf and the Dolphins makes sense on so many levels. It's almost poetic. Metcalf is a proven elite-level wide receiver who has been producing at a high level since the moment he stepped onto an NFL field. His physicality, his ability to dominate in contested catch situations, and his sheer presence would immediately bolster Miami's struggling passing game. Imagine him lining up, a true alpha receiver who can win jump balls, break tackles, and stretch the field. Moreover, pairing him with the Dolphins' existing offensive weapons, assuming they remain, could create a more balanced, less predictable attack, reducing the over-reliance on any single player. This isn't just about a one-for-one swap. It's about rebuilding the Dolphins' identity in 2025, injecting a new brand of toughness and playmaking into an offense that desperately needs it. The potential trade scenario itself is a fascinating chess match with multiple ways it could unfold. Miami might negotiate directly with the Steelers, sending Tyreek Hill back to the Steel City in exchange for Metcalf. To even out the value and considering the age difference and recent production trends, additional draft picks would almost certainly be involved. While Hill remains a top-tier wide receiver, he is undeniably approaching the age of 30, and some analysts have noted a subtle yet noticeable decline in his production over the past season. Metcalf, on the other hand, is still very much in his prime, a physical specimen who could represent a longer-term solution for a team looking to compete not just immediately, but for years to come. It's a bold calculation, trading proven, albeit aging explosiveness for youthful, dominant potential. The fan bases, as you can imagine, are already in a frenzy on social media. Dolphin supporters are a mix of shock and cautious optimism, seeing Metcalf as a high-upside acquisition capable of keeping Miami competitive and perhaps even elevating the offense to new heights. Steelers fans, meanwhile, are divided. Some acknowledge the strategic potential of acquiring a player of Hill's caliber, especially if he can recapture his peak form, while others are understandably heartbroken at the thought of losing a cornerstone of Pittsburgh's passing game. Regardless of where you stand, a trade of this magnitude would instantly become one of the most talked about moves of the entire 2025 NFL season, dominating sports headlines and talk shows for weeks. But beyond the player swap, the implications for both teams' offensive strategies are profound. Miami's quarterback situation has been a constant subject of debate, with questions lingering about consistency and ceiling. Adding a dominant physical target like Metcalf could stabilize the passing attack, providing a reliable option on crucial downs and a security blanket for any quarterback under center. His ability to win 50-50 balls and command attention from defenses could open up opportunities for other receivers and the running game. For Pittsburgh, regaining a familiar weapon in Hill could potentially reunite him with a system that initially showcased his elite speed and playmaking ability, perhaps reigniting that spark. Analysts suggest that such a move could benefit both quarterbacks, providing them with weapons uniquely suited to their strengths, and ultimately improve overall team dynamics on both sides of the trade. The timing of this potential trade is also a critical factor, adding another layer of urgency and drama. With the NFL trade deadline looming in early November, teams are forced to carefully evaluate their playoff prospects and roster needs. For Miami, the urgency is undeniably heightened after that disastrous Week 1 performance. If the Dolphins continue to struggle, those discussions with Pittsburgh could ramp up quickly, creating a scenario where both teams feel immense pressure to act decisively. It's a high-stakes poker game, with the future of two franchises hanging in the balance. Historically, trades of this magnitude, especially for star wide receivers of Hill's caliber, have been rare. Teams typically hold on to their generational talents. However, the NFL landscape has shifted dramatically in recent years. Franchises are increasingly willing to make bold, even audacious moves to gain a competitive edge, to shake up a stagnant roster, or to chase that elusive Super Bowl dream. A deal involving Hill and Metcalf would not only have immediate, seismic on-field consequences, but would also send a powerful signal to the entire league. The Miami Dolphins are serious about reshaping their roster, about making tough decisions, and about returning to contention no matter the cost. Of course, financial considerations always play a pivotal role in these blockbuster deals. Tyreek Hill carries a significant contract, and any trade would require meticulous negotiation regarding salary cap implications for both teams. Metcalf's contract is similarly substantial, but the Steelers may be willing to absorb some financial risk if it means acquiring Hill's unique, game-breaking skill set. Analysts expect that both teams' front offices are already deep in the numbers, evaluating creative solutions to make such a trade feasible without compromising their future. Financial flexibility. It's not just about talent, it's about managing the books. Beyond the strategic and financial elements, there's also a profound human story unfolding here. Tyreek Hill has been a cornerstone of the Dolphins' offense, earning the respect and admiration of fans for his dedication, his explosive plays, and his sheer will to win. A trade would mark the end of an era for Miami fans, a bittersweet farewell to a player who brought so much excitement. But it also represents a fresh start, a new chapter. DK Metcalf, known not just for his physical prowess but also for his unwavering work ethic and professionalism, could quickly integrate into Miami's locker room, providing not only a boost in talent, but also a morale boost for teammates and fans alike. It's a changing of the guard, a passing of the torch,